This video is on subtracting rational numbers. I'm going to go through a few examples, different scenarios you might come across with this topic. I'm going to start out using a number line to introduce it to you, and then we'll do a few without using the number line. Just to remind ourselves, with the number line, 0 being the middle point in this case, and the farther to the left we go, our value is decreasing. We're getting into the negative numbers. And the farther right we go, our value is increasing, getting into the positive numbers. So the first problem we're going to look at is -5 minus 4. Now the first number tells me where I should be starting on my number line. So starting at -5. The symbol, the minus sign, is telling me that I'm going to be decreasing my value, so I'm moving to the left. And the 4 tells me how many spaces to the left I need to move. So -5, I'm moving to the left 4 spaces. So my answer is -9. So -5 minus 4 is -9. And we can see that had we not been using this number line, having a negative and taking a value away from it, we know that our answer should be getting smaller. And our answer is staying a negative number. So we really could combine the 5 and the 4 to get the 9 and apply that negative symbol at the end. Next one is 1 minus -8. Now if we use the number line again, that first number telling me where to start on the number line, so I'm starting at 1. Subtraction telling me I'm moving to the left. Now the -8 should be telling me how many spaces to the left I'm moving. Now it's a -8 spaces. So what really is happening here is it's asking me to do the opposite of moving to the left. So whenever you see minus a negative symbol, we can think that they cancel each other out. And what this is really telling us is 1 plus 8. So we can replace that minus a negative sign with a plus sign. Now, moving back to the number line, the 1's telling me where to start. The plus sign is telling me to move to the right, and the 8's telling me to move to the right 8 spaces. That brings me to the 9. So 1 plus 8 is 9. So looking at number 3, we have -1 6/10 minus 2 1/10. Now if we're starting with a negative number and we're taking a value away from it, I can predict that my answer should remain a negative number. So as we did up here in this first problem, we learned using the number line that we can combine our two terms and then apply that negative symbol at the end. So 1 6/10 plus 2 1/10 is 3 7/10. Apply the minus sign because we made that prediction. And our final answer is -3 7/10. And if we wanted to apply that back on the number line to double check, we're starting at -1 6/10, which is going to be right about here. The minus symbol tells us we're going to the left, and 2 1/10 tell us how many spaces. So if we moved 1, 2, and about 1/10, we can see that we would be ending at about -3 7/10. The next example is 4 minus -5. Now we talked about when we have minus and a negative symbol, that they cancel each other out, creating a positive symbol, a plus sign. So we could rewrite this to be 4 plus 5, and 4 plus 5 is 9. Lastly, let's take a look at an example with a fraction. So we have 1/7 minus 3/7. So again, I want to make that prediction of what sign will my answer be. Well, if we're starting at a positive 1/7 and we're taking away 3/7, I realize that I can't take 3 from 1. And what's going to happen if we look back at our number line, if we're starting at 1 and we're taking 3 away from it, I know that my answer is going to end up in the negative values. So I can make the prediction that my answer will be a negative number. And so what I can do from here is I can take the 3/7 and subtract the 1/7 from it to get 2/7, and I can apply my negative symbol since we had made the prediction that our answer should be negative, and my answer will be -2/7.